I have to say it's a bit of a sad day for the tomatoes at the moment. I'll have to head outside and we'll have a bit of a look at them. It's been raining so much, and I'll take you over to these tomatoes over here first and show you. They're just self-seeded on their own, come up in the compost because I'm consistently making compost, and it's been so wet and miserable they've gotten like that blight disease on them really quickly. And look at it. It almost looks like tobacco virus, but tobacco virus, it gets more crinkly and sort of falls apart, but you can see it starting on here and then just moving across, and it moves so quickly. Like, that was literally only a few days just sort of after the storm that we had. It just went through it, and it was sort of wet and miserable out here, and I had so many jobs to do, and I was like, I'll get to that one next, and I'll get to it next, I'll get to it next. And if you watched my tomato video ages ago, well, not ages ago, a month ago or so, I spoke that I may not keep those 2 tomatoes, but there are lots of little cherries on there. Shirley was saying, yeah, there's lots of cherries on there, hun. I'm like, you go get them. So we're going to do a little bit of a harvest and get them like that. And look, honestly, I could resurrect those tomatoes, but I've got this firecracker chili in here that I'm really interested in, and I want to give it more room. So I'm going to move the tomato next to it and open up that sunlight to allow exposure into these beautiful big fruits that would be perfect. I reckon, like, it's like a huge jalapeno, and it's a bit hotter than a jalapeno, so I reckon it'll make an awesome chili sauce. So I'm super interested in that. And will it go true to type when I actually turn it into seed? I'll grab the seed from it. Now, before you go, I've also got something really interesting for you. Now, if you're a hardcore watcher of Marty's Garden, you've probably been seeing some videos popping up, some old worm farming ones, which was shot anywhere from 5 to 3 years ago. And I'm rolling out the whole series from the members area. Why? There's 2 reasons. I want to keep it relevant. I don't want the content being so old that it's sort of not watchable anymore. It becomes like prehistoric history stuff. And the content in there is really good as far as the education goes, and that's why it's in course method, like 1 to 2 minute videos, teaching you how to start a worm farm from the very start. Now, the reason why this is great is because once you learn how to farm worms, there's so many different things you can do with them, as like put them into the garden beds with lots of mulch and compost and make your own fertilizers, you know, get free fertilizer from the actual farm, from inside the farm for seedlings and plants. It's a small composting system. I don't recommend it as a hardcore composting system, but it is a small composting system, and really good for also for those who are doing the victory garden in small spaces. You could actually follow the whole system, but just do them in foam boxes or recycled containers or whatever. We're using the plastic ones that you can buy from the shops. That's what I've been doing it in, because I really recommend them for beginners because they close up really easy, they're efficient, they run well, and they just do a great job. And you know, if you got chickens like I have there, and you feed your worm farms chicken manure, man, it makes the best fertilizer I have ever come across, ever, no doubt about that. Because what happens is chicken manure, it's very strong and it's a very nutrient rich, but once it passes through the worm gut, it becomes pH neutral, and then it doesn't burn any of the plants or even little seedlings, and it has no smell. So I highly recommend checking that course out. I will be rolling it out. I'll leave a link down below in the description, and you'll see at the end of the video there'll be a card or something pop up and you'll be able to watch it. So yep, they'll all be rolling out. I think there's 9 videos, maybe 10 out by today, and a few more. So yeah, check that out if you're interested in learning how to grow and make your own organic fertilizers using compost worms. And it's very cheap once you get rolling. Now you can see here, again, I was on this plant only a few days ago and I was checking it out, and then this wet weather and whatever, it's just, man, it's just gone through this so fast, this blight. And you can see, because the plant's unhealthy, you can see that things like hornworm and stuff are starting to get in there. So I'll feed this to the chickens. They'll hit that hole there, grab the worm, and get rid of that pest and turn it into an egg. That's what we want. So they'll fight over that now. You watch. It's mine, it's mine, no, it's mine, I'm not gonna share. I'm not gonna share. If you throw like something really interesting in there, they'll fight over it for ages. Like a big chunk of spaghetti. I threw a big chunk of spaghetti that was sort of like all stuck together yesterday, and that was really fun watching them do that. It's not cruel, it's just what they do, you know. You see seagulls and all types of birds chase each other through the sky when they've got something really, really interesting. Anyway, let's have a look at the tomatoes out the front. I'm a little bit upset about it. Might be that I have to get rid of my tomatoes and just take better care of them. A lot of them have got the blight on it from the weather. This guy's doing all right because he's separated, but if I don't get to it soon, you can see, oh no, that's not tomato leaf, that's something else. So this tomato plant's doing all right. Hasn't got the blight on it. Reason being is this is, I'll get over here and I'll talk about that, because the blight's in the ground, and when the rain comes down really hard, so we had the hail and it was going poof, 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 and it was probably would have been spurting all stuff. And if I didn't have a good mulch cover down or a good cover to sort of stop that earth from popping back up like we have here, because this is all thick and bushy, and you can't really, like the water would just hit the leaves and not push any of the sort of blight up from the soil down below. Oh, look, there's a pea. I love walking around harvesting and eating at the same time. So yeah, if you can stop things from bouncing up onto the bottom leaves, you don't get blight. So that in the Victory, not the Victory garden, that's like our no-dig bale garden there. It's doing quite well because of that reason. And there's probably tomatoes there, I just didn't check. Oh, still got that pea, that snow pea. So good. That's my first bit of breakfast for the morning. So we'll walk around, have a look at the other tomatoes here, which I'm about to pull up all these old worm farms. These are underground sub pods, and redo all these beds. Now, 2 days ago, this plant was like, I was like, oh, I've got to get to this one really soon. Again, we've got issues with the fruit because the plant's losing its health, its nutrition. Not so much the nutrition, it's just since we had that storm, and we've got, look, honestly, we've got days of rain predicted here. And so certain plants will do really well and others will suffer. And I'm just really stoked that I was able to get this pumpkin, the Jack B. Little, sort of off the ground, because it was spilling all over the place over here. And that could make it susceptible to pests and stuff like disease and stuff like that. So it's off the ground now and it's running up through here. I'm looking forward to seeing some nice big bees in these flowers soon. And it's getting some little pumpkins on it already. We'll just come around here and show you. And it's running along this trellis quite nicely, and you can see on every, so we'll just go back to here, you can see every node there is a little pumpkin. Now I'm using a fertilizer on these from Aussie Gardener, and it's a type of potash. And so I just can't remember the name of it at the moment. So what I'll do is a liquid one, and I really like it. So I'm going to leave a link in the description for that. You can pick it up at Aussie Gardener, and it just helps with the flowering process when you're growing in pots, because pots is a little bit different in the ground. You need to keep giving it nutrients, and if you can give them a liquid feed and keep them nice and healthy, they will produce lots and lots of fresh food for you. So anyway, that's it for the tomato look around. Just letting you know that, hey, we're not always successful. Sometimes we run out of time. Sometimes the elements just battle with us. Many things can happen, and you've just got to go, well, keep on keeping on. And I'm going to have to basically pull out a lot of those tomatoes and start again in those areas and get some new ones. But at least I got one nice bush happening over in the bale garden. That one looks all right. And yeah, we'll start again. That's life. Anyway, look, check out the course. That's really exciting. And all the links down in the description. Lots of stuff going on. Have a great day. Happy gardening. And I'll keep you tuned in about this weather. What's going on. Bye for now.